These last few years have been horrible for Hollywood moguls. While celebrities were basically worshipped and could do no wrong, now all they seem to do is wrong. As each day that passes, another big name in Hollywood gets exposed for doing the unthinkable. This time, it's Hollywood mogul Tyler Perry, and he's not just being called out for his horrendous movies, but for his despicable behavior, as Tyler is now being accused of SAing a male actor who he cast a part of his show. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop new videos exposing the truth weekly. In today's episode, we will be talking about the Tyler Perry lawsuit. Let's get right into it. There are very few people in Hollywood that make it to the level Tyler Perry made it to. A man who came from a broken, abusive home where he was SA'd several times as a child that ended up becoming one of the most successful men in Hollywood. Making movies aimed at a black audience is what he is known for today, but he started his career writing plays in the 90s. Today, Perry is mostly known for his movies about Madea, a character he created in which he cross-dresses as an old woman to play. We will talk more about that later though. Perry became so successful that he eventually even created himself a full-on film production studio in Atlanta, becoming one of the very few in Hollywood to achieve this. Now he's worth over $1 billion, making him one of the richest men in the business. Very few people have the amount of power as Tyler Perry does in Hollywood. A man with that much power gets what he wants no matter what. We saw that from Diddy. The bigger Diddy became, the more he got what he wanted, and the more he got away with anything. It seems that when people reach that billionaire level, they lose all moral responsibility and become monsters. Monsters that Hollywood itself protects and builds up. In the case of Diddy, we saw him use his billionaire status for all the wrong reasons, using his power to force people to compromise themselves for opportunities in the music industry. You want to drop an album on Bad Boy? Well, you gotta do this freak off with him first. Diddy forced all those who came across him to compromise themselves for his desire. He knew these people wanted to be music stars and would do anything to get there, so he took advantage of that. Sadly, Diddy isn't the only monster doing this in Hollywood. So many executives and top producers are doing the same exact thing. They know they got the power to get someone to the next level, but instead of just helping them, they want to use this to force them to compromise themselves and humiliate themselves. They want to feel like they can make these people do anything because it makes them feel powerful. They know that deep down, none of this matters. Not the money, not the fame. It all means nothing, as when we die, we're all going the same way. So in order to boost their ego and to feel like gods on earth, they abuse their power and use it against those who want what they have. This is how so many upcoming celebrities sell their souls. They want to make it to the next level, and then they're faced with doing compromising things for an executive or a producer. They do it to make it to the next level, and they become stars. While the world loves them and praises them, they have no idea what they had to do for that opportunity, that they had to give up their souls to make it. This is the corrupt system that runs Hollywood, with the biggest names in the business being the ones to exploit it. This is exactly what Tyler Perry is now being accused of by one of the actors a part of one of his shows. Right now, Tyler Perry is all over the headlines after a lawsuit was filed against him by an actor named Derek Dixon, who was a part of the show called The Oval. Derek is suing Tyler for over $200 million. This lawsuit is truly disturbing and paints Tyler Perry as another one of the Hollywood creeps who preys on talent. According to the allegations in the lawsuit, Tyler Perry SA'd this actor on many occasions. The actor claims that Tyler would flirt with him and forced himself onto him several times. Dixon claimed that he felt forced to engage in this activity with Perry as he was afraid to lose his job. He claims to have turned down Perry's advances multiple times, but Perry didn't take no for an answer, claiming that he was forced to deal with this behavior to keep his job, as he even claimed that Perry had threatened to kill off his character if he didn't engage in the relationship. Let's read the full lawsuit together. This case arises from a sustained pattern of workplace harassment, assault, and retaliation perpetrated by Tyler Perry, a powerful media mogul, against plaintiff Derek Dixon, a professional actor and screenwriter. Mr. Perry is an American actor, filmmaker, and playwright who has built one of the most successful careers in the film and television industry. Mr. Perry took his success and power and used his considerable influence in the entertainment industry to create a coercive, exploitative dynamic with Mr. Dixon, initially promising him career advancements and creative opportunities such as producing his pilots and casting him in his show, only to subject him to escalating harassment, assault, and battery, and professional retaliation when Mr. Dixon did not reciprocate Mr. Perry's unwanted advances. These events occurred while Mr. Dixon was employed as a series regular on the Tyler Perry show, The Oval, and while Mr. Perry held direct control over his employment, compensation, and creative opportunities. Perry rose against all odds to become one of the most powerful figures in the entertainment industry. His success story, once a story of perseverance and self-made achievements, has now become a cautionary tale of how unchecked power, wealth, and influence can corrupt those who attain it. Among other contracts, Perry received a lucrative multi-year partnership with the Oprah Winfrey Network and his net worth to $3.6 billion. Tyler Perry's rise to fame and fortune elevated him from a powerless victim to a figure of tremendous wealth, influence, and power, culminating in the ownership of his own film studio. Rather than using this influence responsibly, Tyler Perry has engaged in a pattern of misconduct where he has exploited his position of power. Tyler Perry has been using his power and influence to molest, abuse, and assault impressionable and vulnerable employees and actors who look to him for guidance and mentorship while pursuing their dreams. Just like Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, Sean P. Diddy Combs, Kevin Spacey, Roger Ailes, and many others in the industry, Mr. Perry's success has led him to believe that money and influence can get him whatever he wants. That belief slowly transformed into the false idea that Mr. Perry can get whomever he wants. There are things in life that money can't buy. Mr. Perry sought the one thing his wealth and influence could not purchase: an intimate relationship with a man who would remain silent. Perry told Mr. Dixon that his ideal relationship would involve a male partner who he could provide for and would be loyal but emotionally detached. Perry told Dixon, "Whoever ends up with me is gonna be a happy mother effer." In essence, Mr. Perry desired a one-sided coercive dynamic with a subordinate, an arrangement devoid of mutual consent or emotional reciprocity. Thus began Perry's calculated pursuit of Mr. Dixon. This was not Mr. Perry's first instance of sexual exploitation. He has demonstrated a troubling pattern of exploiting vulnerable male actors and employees, leveraging his industry power to create a cycle of hope and dependency. First, he offers inspiring actors the prospect of a career-defining opportunities, roles that promise visibility and advancement. Then, once they are in his professional orbit, he uses the weight of his influence to ensnare them, positioning their success as contingent on meeting his demands. This pattern of behavior reveals a calculated use of professional power for sexual leverage. Using his influence, Mr. Perry provided vulnerable men with acting positions, roles, and show contracts, cars, and money. Once the object of his desire was hooked, Tyler would then put them in a fear of losing it all unless they engaged in Mr. Perry's perverted desire for sexual gratification. Mr. Perry would easily kill off a character in a show of an actor who failed to indulge in Perry's desires. In one such exchange, Perry stated that he can fix things because the actors of a show he was filming should all be scared because they were all shot at, and we don't know who lives. This means that Tyler Perry was going to use this as a tool to gain compliance. Derek Dixon was Mr. Perry's sexual desire ever since they became acquainted. Dixon was working as part of the event staff for a party hosted by Mr. Perry when Perry noticed him. Perry immediately offered Dixon the chance to audition for a part in one of his TV show productions. Dixon agreed and was on set with Perry behind the camera for weeks in close quarters. During the time they were filming, Perry would send flirtatious text messages to Dixon. For example, in one message, Perry stated that he was jealous when he saw Dixon going on a walk with another man named Brad. In another text message, Perry stated to Dixon, "What's it gonna take for you to have guiltless sex? Have you found that yet in therapy? You can have freedom from religious guilt, and I'll believe in Christ." Plaintiff carefully navigated a friendly demeanor to prevent the loss of income and opportunity on the one hand, and on the other, a firm boundary against Perry's advances. Often when Mr. Perry started drinking, he would demand more attention from plaintiff and get more aggressive with the flirting. On one occasion, when Mr. Perry was drinking, he started to become extremely annoyed where Mr. Dixon avoided him. Mr. Perry stated that of the 600 people in his phone book, he only wanted to talk to Mr. Dixon. Dixon did his best to tiptoe around Mr. Perry's sexual aggression while keeping on Mr. Perry's good side. Mr. Perry made it clear to Dixon that if Dixon ignored Perry or failed to engage with his advances, Dixon's character would die in the next season. Indeed, Dixon's character Dale was shot 4 times in the chest at the end of his first season on the Oval, and Perry always held this over Mr. Dixon's head, implying that Dale would survive if Dixon kept Perry happy. Once Perry recognized the extent of control he had over Mr. Dixon, he escalated this behavior. On multiple occasions, Mr. Perry sexually assaulted Mr. Dixon, including one instance where he forcefully pulled down Mr. Dixon's clothing, groped his buttocks, and attempted to force himself on Dixon. Mr. Dixon told a drunken Perry no and attempted to remove Mr. Perry's hands, but Mr. Perry held on tightly to Dixon's wrists. Mr. Dixon was only able to escape after de-escalating the situation by abruptly changing the subject. The day after the assault, Mr. Perry called and texted Mr. Dixon relentlessly saying, "Tried you, call me, and I really need to talk to you, please call as soon as you can." Finally, when Mr. Dixon answered Tyler Perry's call, Mr. Perry profusely apologized for the essay while blaming it on other things. Perry continued, he didn't know why he would do that, maybe he was self-sabotaging. On the very same call where he apologized for the essay against Dixon, Perry told Dixon, "And don't worry, we're gonna do your show," referring to the pilot that Perry knew Mr. Dixon had desperately wanted to produce. Shortly thereafter, Mr. Dixon got a call from Perry's lawyer saying that Christmas had come early and that Dixon was gonna get a substantial raise and the show was greenlit. Perry's attorney explicitly warned Dixon not to tell any other actor on the show about Dixon's raise because no other actor was getting a raise, only Dixon. Perry kept telling Dixon that he was sorry and that the harassment would not happen again. However, the harassment and assaults continued. Mr. Perry would also try to deflect the blame for the essay by saying that Dixon didn't have a strong enough no. Perry told Dixon that you have to be able to say no and mean it and make it clear. Dixon did not know how to answer without facing retaliation, cancellation of his production contracts, or perhaps being killed off the show. So instead, Dixon made a joke out of the situation, stated that I'll only say yes if it gets me an Oscar. In response, Tyler Perry stated that the only one who could have gotten the Oscar for you is in prison, so I'll just stick to no, unless you're really into him. Perry reveals through these text messages that the no he was referring to was Dixon's no to sex in exchange for promotion in the industry. At some point, Dixon left Atlanta and moved to Santa Monica to create distance from Tyler Perry. However, even at long distances, Mr. Perry continued to harass Mr. Dixon. Now let's go over one of the allegations Dixon made against Tyler Perry in the lawsuit. In this part of the lawsuit, it states, Dixon filmed his role in Ruthless in mid-November and went back to his job as an event staff for Legendary Events. Approximately 1 month later, Perry bought and gave Dixon a new car because he hated Dixon's Jeep. Dixon was surprised and elated. Dixon had no idea that he was being set up by Perry for extreme dependence. In December of 2019, Dixon was requested to be a part of the event staff at another event at Perry's home in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. After the event, Perry started frequently sending text messages, making phone calls, and demanding that Dixon give him some attention. On New Year's Eve 2019, Tyler Perry texted Dixon, "I can't tell you the last time I pumped gas, or went to the supermarket, or flew commercial, or packed a bag, or had good sex. It was before I was rich." Dixon found these messages to be strange coming from someone like Tyler Perry. But being new to the industry, Dixon played along by downplaying the sexual comments and hoping that being around Perry would allow him to showcase his talent as an actor and writer. Soon after Dixon had been giving Perry more attention, Perry made his move on Dixon. In January of 2020, just a few months after his first acting gig, Perry invited Plaintiff to his home in Douglasville County, Georgia. Plaintiff showed up to the home hoping that he would be given a chance to befriend Perry and show him how talented an actor Dixon was. At Perry's home, Dixon was served many alcoholic drinks, which Perry also partook in. Dixon felt that Perry was genuinely interested in Dixon's talent as an actor and writer. Perry made no advances at Dixon while they were drinking, and the conversations were friendly. At the end of the night, Perry told Dixon not to drive home. Perry said it was dangerous and that Dixon was too inebriated to drive home. Dixon agreed and was escorted to a separate guest room, not knowing that this was a ruse to allow Perry to assault him. Dixon was tired and did not have pajamas, so he got into bed only wearing underwear. Before he knew what was happening, Dixon felt someone else slip into the bed with him and start rubbing his body around his inner thigh in a highly intimate and suggestive manner. Dixon turned around and saw that Tyler Perry was in bed with him. At this point, Dixon's stomach started to turn, and he began feeling nauseous. Instinctively, Dixon jumped out of the bed and told Tyler Perry that he wasn't into hooking up right now. Tyler Perry ignored the comments and told Dixon to turn around so Perry can see him in his underwear. Perry then commented on how beautiful Dixon's body was. Dixon kept informing Perry that he was not into hooking up in order to keep Perry at bay, while at the same time not insulting the person who was dangling his career in front of him. In response to Dixon's frequent assertions, Perry started prying further. Perry would send Dixon a text message saying, "I would hope that you would let someone hold you and make love to you. You're missing the best years of your life, my friend, trust me. I hope you get past the block in your mind soon." Perry was implying that Dixon would hopefully get past the block in his mind so Perry could make love to him. Now, this instance in the lawsuit is extremely disturbing, and it shows exactly how they make these celebrities sell out. Dixon wanted to become a famous actor. He wanted to make it to the top. Tyler Perry knew this, and he was about to make him sell his soul for it. Tyler Perry, in this instance, is playing the devil. And at that moment, Dixon was about to dance with the devil. He was about to compromise himself, his soul, for an opportunity. Who knows what ended up happening that night, even if he denies that anything did. But considering the fact that he kept on acting for Tyler Perry, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually engaged in some activities that night. A really disturbing detail that I found while looking into the lawsuit was the role that Tyler Perry gave Dixon in his show. In the show, Tyler had Dixon playing a gay homeless man who was sleeping with another man in order to stay in his house for free. Basically, the show was reflecting real life. As in real life, Tyler Perry had Dixon compromising his sexuality in order to be able to get a Hollywood role. This is truly one of the most disturbing things in Hollywood, and it happens to so many men. So many men who were straight before entering Hollywood, but are then turned as they do anything for an opportunity. This is why Hollywood seems to always push the Lil Nas X agenda. And it's the same thing we saw with Diddy. Diddy did the same thing to so many celebrities who wanted to make it to the next level, who wanted to rise, like we saw with Lil Rod. What Tyler Perry did to Dixon is what Hollywood does to all stars that are coming up. They all have to get a little zesty and do things that they're not really into. That is what selling your soul is. That is what compromise is. And I'm pretty sure it's the same thing Tyler Perry did to make it where he is today. In the rest of the lawsuit, Dixon claims that Perry held his job over his head and threatened to fire him if he didn't engage in this behavior with him. Dixon also claims that he routinely sent him alcohol to his trailer in order to keep him drunk all the time so he can take advantage of him. This is truly sick behavior. Summarizing everything I read about this lawsuit, Tyler Perry found this unknown man who was working for an event planning company. The man wasn't a professional actor or anything like that, but Tyler was attracted to him and decided to use his power to force a relationship. He knew that the man would likely agree to be an actor for one of his shows, which would give him control over his career and life. Tyler let him see the life so he could trap him. Once the man agreed, he began dangling the opportunity over his head, making him do anything for it. This is the same story of many of the big names in the business. They use that power they have accumulated over the years to abuse others. I honestly believe all of these allegations against Perry. Tyler is one of the biggest sellouts in Hollywood. He made billions pushing the Lil Nas X agenda for Hollywood. His entire Madea franchise proves he's a sellout. Remember Dave Chappelle called out the fact that Hollywood uses black comedians to push the Lil Nas X agenda by making them dress like women? That is exactly what Tyler Perry was doing. That is why they have given him so much money and power. For those who are wondering why they have so many people pushing the Lil Nas X agenda in Hollywood, let me explain really quickly. Those who run Hollywood are occultists. They believe in occult practices like alchemy. In alchemy, being half man and half woman is called the great work. When a person merges their inner opposites, their masculine side and their feminine side, they believe that once they achieve this, they become God themselves. Because man can only mimic God when a man and a woman comes together to procreate. But those who are alchemists believe that if they merge their opposites, become both a man and a woman, they become their own God. Man becoming God is a Luciferian concept, as Lucifer was who told Adam and Eve that man is God. This is why they are pushing the Lil Nas X agenda so heavily. This is why cross-dressing and gender flipping are big in Hollywood. This is the reason why Tyler Perry was given so much. He sold out his own people, pushing this agenda onto his own people for decades. While this lawsuit paints Tyler Perry as an in-the-closet gay, it's pretty obvious he's gay just like most big names in Hollywood. They all practice sex magic, which calls for them to do acts with both male and females. It's not hard to believe these allegations, as you don't make it to the level of Perry, without doing evil to people. Well, I'm gonna end this one here. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.